See, the control flow statement in CSharp are nothing but the statement which will alter the flow of a program execution and also provide better control on the flow of execution for a programmer. As a programmer, if you want to have a better control over the program or over the program execution order or over the program execution flow, then control flow statement is must, right? Control flow state, see, generally whenever we write a program, the program execution is from top to bottom and in a sequential order. Okay, let us see this thing with an example. So my screen is visible to all of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me increase the size. Yeah. Now it's clearly visible, right? Let me increase the word length also. Yeah. Now it's visible clearly now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, here I have created a simple program and inside the main method, I have written 5 statements. Now, if I want to execute this 5 statement, right, then how the statements are going to be executed? The statements are going to be executed sequentially one by one. Sequentially in the sense, first it will execute this statement, then it will execute this statement, then statement 3, statement 4, and finally statement 5. This is the default program execution order. Now, if you want to alter the program execution order, alter in the sense, I want to execute these 2 statements, but then I want to skip these 2 statements. Then finally, I want to execute this statement. Or even if you want, now once I execute this statement, I directly jump to this statement, and from this statement onwards, I'm going to execute the rest of all statement. I don't want to execute this statement. That means this is another way. And if you want, okay, this is one statement, and I want to execute this statement for 10 times. And once 10 times this statement executed, the further statements are going to be executed. That means if you want to alter the flow of a program execution, then you need to go for control flow statement. But remember, if you want to control the flow of execution, then you should have some condition. Based on the condition only, you can alter the program execution flow, right? Once you have executed these 2 statements, then you have one condition. If the condition is satisfying, then only execute this statement. If the condition is not satisfying, then you can execute this statement. Again, if you want to execute this statement for 5 number of times, then you should have some condition. And in the condition, you have to mention whatever the thing is going to inside this condition, please execute for 5 number of times. Again, if you have condition, that condition is that once I execute this statement, just move to this statement. So the conditional statements is basically providing a better approach on the program execution flow. If you want to manage your program execution flow, then you have to understand the control flow statement thoroughly. Even the control flow statements are exist in our real time, right? In our daily life, when we are following the control flow statement. For example, see, it's a rainy season, right? It's a rainy season, then you might decide what you need to do tomorrow. You might decide that if it's raining tomorrow, then I will go to watch a movie. If it's not raining, then I will go to the office, right? So you have 2 options and you are going to perform only one option. And you are going to perform the operation based on the condition. And what is the condition here? The condition is rain. If it's raining, then I'm going to watch a movie. If it's not raining, then I'm going to office. That means here, based on the condition, if it's raining or not raining, you are going to perform different tasks. In the same way, we can implement the same thing in our programming world by using something called control flow statement. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Let us see some of the example to understand this thing. So what I explained, let us see. Okay, we'll discuss everything in detail. See. So here I'm writing some control flow statement. Now, these five statements are not going to be executed sequentially. First, it will check the condition, right? It will check the condition. If this condition is true, then this statement is going to be executed. After executing these two statements, the control will move to here. These two statements are not going to be executed. That means if it's raining, I'm going to watch the movie. If it's not raining, I'm going to office. That means either cases, only one block is going to be executed. If the condition is true, this statement, this two statement is going to be executed. Else, these two statements are going to be executed. Irrespective of the condition, this is the final statement which is going to be executed. Okay, let's see. What is this if else, right? We are going to discuss after some time. Now I'm just explaining you what are the different control flow statement that we can implement in our program, right? So this is executing statement 1, statement 2, and executing statement 5. That means we are controlling or we are selecting some of the statement to be executed based on some condition. So this is nothing but your selection control flow statement, or you can say branching control flow statement, or you can say decision making control flow statement. That means based on some condition, you are making the decision. What you are going to do, that basically depends on the condition. This is nothing but one type of a control flow statement. Is that clear? We'll discuss this if else in detail. For now, I'm just showing you different types of control flow statement that you can implement in your application. Now, let's say another example. Okay. Now see, now here I am writing some other control flow statement which is going to execute this welcome to CSharp.NET statement multiple number of times. Then how many number of times? That basically depend on this condition. The condition is that it will start from 0 and it will end from 5. As once I value becomes 5, then it will stop. And each time the I value is increased by 1. And we already discussed what is the use of I plus plus. And I already told you that don't use this plus plus operator in a complex operation. Use simply when you want to increment the value of a variable by 1. Right. In this case, if I execute this program, then you will see that this statement I have written only once, but it is going to be executed 5 times. And why it is going to be executed 5 times? Because we are using some kind of a control flow statement. Then which kind of a control flow statement is this? This is iteration. Iteration means repeating the code execution multiple times based on the provided condition. And here the condition is that we are initializing the I value with 0, and once the I value becomes 5, then continue the execution. Once the I value becomes 5, then stop the execution. As long as I value is 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the body is going to be executed. Once this I value becomes 5, this condition is false. And once the condition false, then it will not enter inside the condition. That means, again, here we have some condition, right? This is another type of a control flow statement, and technically we are saying that this is iteration statement. Right now I have another type of control flow statement. Once I execute this statement, I am informing the compiler, hey, Mr. Compiler, go to this level. So whatever statement after this statement, don't execute. Once you find the go-to statement, I mean, once you find the level, then you just continue the execution. So in this case, this statement is not going to be executed. Once this first statement executed, once it finds this go-to statement, it will directly move to this block, this level, and continue its execution. Let's see. See, statement 1, statement 4, and statement 5. Statement 1, statement 4, and statement 5. These two statements are executed. Then what kind of control flow statement? It's a jumping. That means we are jumping from one location to another location. We are jumping from this line number 9 to line number 13. So this is some kind of a jumping control flow statement. So basically, these are the three categories of a control flow statement. that we can implement in our C# programming language. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now look at this diagram. So basically, control flow statement in C# programming languages are divided into three categories: selection statement, which you can show branching control flow statement. Even you can also say this is decision making control flow statement. The examples are if else and switch case. Second one is iteration statement. Iteration means this is one kind of scenario where you want to execute the body multiple number of times based on the provided condition. And the examples are for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. Then we have something called a jumping statement or jump control flow statement. In this case, what you need to do, you need to jump or you need to move the control from one location to another location. And the examples are a break, continue, return, and a go to. Right. So now what we are going to do, we are going to discuss each of these. What is EPLs? What are the things you can do with EPL statement? What are the things you cannot do with EPL statement? Same for switch statement. I'm going to discuss for in detail, while loop in detail, do while loop in detail. For each loop, I'm not going to discuss now because to understand for each loop, first of all, you need to understand what is a collection. So I just move this for each loop concept to the collection chapter, right? If you see the collection syllabus, if you see our course syllabus, in the collection framework, I have moved this for each loop. But all these three I'm going to discuss now in the sense in our next few sessions. So all these things are not going to be completed today. So in our today session and in our few upcoming sessions, I'm going to cover all these things. And again, I'm going to discuss the use of a break statement, continue statement, return statement, and a go to statement. Each of these are nothing but one keyword. If is a keyword, else is a keyword, switch is a keyword. Whatever you have seen on this diagram, each one is a keyword. And a keyword means you cannot use this word for providing the name for any identifier. The identifier might be a variable, a constant, or it might be a class, interface name, whatever name. You cannot use these keywords as the name.